Alright, g'day guys. Today I'm going to talk about extensions, renovations, alterations and additions, and basically show you how to use PlusDesignBuild to enable you to get it done more efficiently. We all know that it's kind of the hardest type of work. New work is a lot easier than doing renovation extensions, so the idea is to help you guys be more efficient and more accurate with your estimates. So let's take a look. Okay, so what we have here is a simple plan, right? And this would be what I'd give myself from a site measure essentially. And essentially, it might need an extension somewhere on the block. So I'm just going to choose a wall type, masonry veneer, and I'm just going to trace over the top of it here, and we'll have a bit of a look. Guys, if you're not sure how to do this, just go into the wall tool and check out the tutorials on the wall tool. It's pretty straightforward, but I just want to get onto something that I've had a few questions about. Okay, so basically what I've done there is I've drawn up some walls. Now, I drew them all as new walls, so they weren't existing or demolition. So I'm going to go through a couple of different things. So a really easy one is if all these walls were existing, or let's say, yeah, all these walls are existing, we can just go walls and we can change it after we've drawn it and simply click on existing and go submit. And essentially nothing, you'll notice when I click on them now, they're gone red. And nothing will actually turn up in my estimate if I go take off selection. Right, I've got a blank estimate. However, in some cases we're going to need to demolish a wall. And to demolish a wall is just as easy. If I basically went to my wall tool again and simply clicked on demolish, I'll go submit, and now when I do a takeoff, it's going to give me the demolition material that's going to go into the bin. Right, so demolition is going to tell me everything that's involved in pulling this apart. That's pretty straightforward. But the question that I've been getting is, what happens if we want to keep the frame and we don't want to keep the bricks? And I can show you from here, and I'll just quickly give you an example, is that what I would actually do is I'd actually change this wall back to a new wall. So turn this off here and go submit. And therefore, if I did a takeoff, it's going to tell me that I'm going to have to purchase all these products here. Right. So there's everything I'd have to purchase to build that wall, but in this case I may just want to keep the frame. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave this one open down here, and I'm going to actually go to the wall, and once I've sort of agreed on what I'm going to do with this wall, I can actually go in and say, well, I actually want to keep the frame, and I'm going to lock the frame. Right. Now when I do a takeoff of just this one wall, takeoff selection, you're going to notice that there's a difference in the takeoff. And the difference is that there's no framing in the takeoff, but I had to, if I wanted to purchase these things. So basically I can go into the wall and I can lock any item, and therefore it's going to leave it as existing, and I might need to purchase new things here, right? So I think that's a good way to understand, what to do. Now I'm going to just probably get a little bit more detail, because as you can imagine, in real life scenario, we're probably going to want to keep the frame and demolish the brick. So let's have a quick look at another model that I've created. Right. And what I've done here is I've just shown you a couple of options. So here I've got a new wall, which is basically creating a new wall. Here I have a wall that I actually want to keep the bricks, but I want to replace the frame and linings, etc. Right. So you'll notice that the bricks, when I hover around here, the bricks are red, but the rest of the wall is blue. And the same with this one here. The frame is red. So basically what I did is I broke inside of that group, triple click, until I got to what it was that I didn't want to estimate, and I just click right click lock. And it makes it easy for us to see red and blue. Right? And over here, it may have had a door in it. So what I actually did is I clicked inside of the wall until I got to the door, and I went right click lock. In this case I go unlock, and then that way the door would be estimated. So these are all drawn as new walls. I can basically demolish all, which I already showed you, right click and change it to demolish wall. And in some cases we're going to sand and patch an existing wall. So what I'm going to do is just show you a different way about going about this. So I've created another scene over here, and I have a wall, but I actually used the material to signify to the client, but also to say my painters or to any subcontractor what I'm going to do, but also for me to realize that I do have to paint the bricks on this wall. And I'm going to show you how I did this. So I'm going to go to the internal wall here, and I'm actually going to make my internal lining, and I'll make it patch and paint. So I go to my wall tool, so here, wall, or right click edit wall, or I use W as a keyboard shortcut, it makes it a lot faster. And I'm going to go to my materials, selections and finishes, and you'll notice that I've actually used a material, and the reason I've gone such a gaudy material is just to make it really clear to you guys, and I'll quickly show you how to change that in a moment. But I'm going to do this for my internal lining, so I'm looking for the red line on the internal lining. I'm going to go create and manage material. And that's opened in another screen here, and it's come up with here, and basically this material is my internal finishes. So I'm going to choose a file, right? And you'll notice that I just took some screenshots of what it was I wanted to do. So I could actually go paint over existing, sand and patch, and go open, right? And therefore I'm only going to paint over existing, no patching or sanding. And I've actually put these in the public library, guys, so you can actually grab these if you want them. Create material, give it a size. Let's make it 700 so it's easy to see, millimeters. And the width of the existing product, which is already there because I actually chose Gyprock when I did it. So create material from template. It's not liking that. Capital, I don't know what was going on there. Create material. Okay, so that's created that material for me. Right, I'm actually going to go and I'm going to create a similar material because, guys, this is really quick and easy to do. I know a lot of people sort of, go, oh, I don't want to create materials. It's very easy to do. And essentially how I got that material is I just used a screen capture program and wrote and basically wrote over top of it. I use Fast Stone Capture, guys. I do recommend it. So feel free to check that out. I'm going to choose another file and I'm going to go no change as per original. And I'm going to go, yep. And I'm going to create another similar material here and choose file. And I'm going to use, I can't remember what I created on, patch and paint, and go open. Right. And I'm going to make this larger, guys. You can see the last one's a 70 mil. I'll explain that in a second. Create material from template. Right. So what I need to do now is go back to my model and I actually need to synchronize. So sync. And give it a second, guys. I only created 3 materials, so it shouldn't take long, but I will pause in the interim. All right, and once it says done, you'll notice it downloaded those materials done. It took me, I don't know, 30 seconds or something like that. Okay, so I'm going to close that now. I could have dragged and dropped straight into here if I only created one, and it would be a little bit quicker, but when you create multiple, that's what would happen. Now, I'm just looking for user material, so I'm going to turn these other ones off here and go to my drop down, and I've got patch and paint, right? And I'm going to go submit, right? And now you notice I have really clearly patch and paint. Now, this is great for us having something that stands out so much, but when you're showing your client, you may want to back that off a touch, and you can do several different things. And I like to use colors because it helps me, but I'm just going up to my default tray here. I'm going to go to materials, and I'm actually going to go to select material. And if we did want to make this look a bit prettier for rendering or whatever, we could go edit, and we could just remove the texture by clicking texture. You'll notice it's gone to color. If we wanted to change the color of it, you could do that, and you can use whatever color you want to, so that you can just use colors instead of textures to do that. Right? Now, what I'm going to show you is that when I do a takeoff on this wall, right click, takeoff selection, that I'm actually looking for paint. So I'm going to type in here paint. This is in PlusDesignBuild, guys, not in PlusSpec paint. And you'll notice that I now got highlight. So it highlighted everything with paint. So it made it easy for me to find these. So on my internal finishes, I need to patch and paint. And my external, I need to paint over existing and sanding. What I could also do is I can add a recipe to these items. So I'm just going to go here. I'm going to go edit, see more. And I may go, you know what, I don't really like the wording there, so I can click on it and change it, and I might give it a better description for my painter when I send him a purchase order. I could write in names. I can change prices, and depending on, so we might say that it's, I like to use good, better, best, so it might be the wall's in good condition, so there's minimal patch and paint, good patch and paint. You call it whatever you would call it. And it might be copy that, add it in here, Control V, I don't know, detailed, whatever, better, best, whatever you're going to use, according to, and you might say for a good patch and paint, you might only pay, you know, $10, but for a detailed patch and paint, you may pay $15, and for, I don't know, a really, really solid one, I don't know, whatever it's going to be, it might be $20, all right? This happens for every material inside of here, guys. So I could select that and go save and select, and you'll notice that it actually changed my good patch and paint, and then I would give it a painter in my for my vendor, which would be the person that would do it. I might also give it a cost code, and basically whatever you're going to choose, you would import your own cost codes. But at the end of the day, guys, basically the painter now knows that he's got 10 square meters of paint to do on a good job, and therefore we're going to pay him $10 a square meter, $100. However, if it was worse or more detail required, we would go a better job, and therefore it's $15 a square meter. So essentially, guys, I like to use colors. I like to explain to customers that I'm not going to do anything to that wall at all, or I'm only going to do a little bit to that wall. And actually, if I'm creating plans for council, I might just have it as a color, and everything that's pink might be existing and everything that's green might be new. And that's a really good way to organize a project, so you're communicating with your client properly, but you're also communicating with yourself, your subcontractors, and everything else that's required. Efficiency via using technology enables you to get more done in less time and be more accurate. When you're accurate with your quotes, you know how much room you've got to move if you've got competitors that are trying to get the job from you, so you can drop your price a little bit, or you can actually increase your price because you know exactly what's involved in the job. And renovation extensions, as I said, is really difficult work. Guys, if you like the video, push like. If you dislike the video, push dislike, and tell us why, because that way we can improve. Don't forget to subscribe, guys. We look forward to hearing your feedback. If you've got any more questions, add them below, guys. We'll do our best to help you out when we can. Cheers.